Hey folks, this is Kalani. The War Within gives us a lot of different ways to gear up, but one of the easiest and most accessible methods comes from using your Spark of Omens. Everyone can get these sparks very easily, you just have to complete a weekly quest, and you can use them to get item level 606 gear very easily, and that gear can be upgraded all the way to item level 636. This is also the first time that everyone can get the required crests to get those massive upgrades, so we're going to go over how you can get a Spark of Omens, how you can use them to craft some high item level gear, and what you need to get that gear upgraded. Now before we jump in, be sure to hit up that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. Now I know a lot of folks are coming back to the game for the War Within, and you may not have played through Dragonflight or paid much attention to how the sparks or crafted gear works, so we're going to go through the entire process of getting a spark and turning it into a piece of gear to make sure everyone understands exactly how this works to ensure we're putting those sparks to good use. The new spark for Season 1 of the War Within is called the Spark of Omens. These sparks are the main ingredient used in all high tier crafting recipes, and you can use them to get up to item level 636 gear eventually, so there are some huge upgrades to work towards and you can massively increase your item level. The best part is that this crafted gear is also super reliable. Everyone can get a spark, everyone can use a spark, and we'll be getting more sparks as the weeks go by, so you don't have to jump into raids or dungeons or really any group content at all. Everyone has access to this gear. Getting your sparks is super simple. You just need to complete the important weekly quest in Dornagal. You're looking for the one with the blue spiky icon. It has moved around every week so far, but it should be marked on your world map. These weekly quests can ask you to do a variety of content, from choosing how to complete them, collecting a specific quest item, or completing some delves, but everything we've had so far has been accessible to everyone. So whatever the quest asks you to do, get that done, and then when you hand it in, you'll be rewarded with a fractured Spark of Omens. We need to combine 2 of these fractured sparks together to create a spark we can then use in crafting, so we'll be able to get 1 whole spark every 2 weeks if you're doing your weekly quests. Now there is also a special one-time quest right next to the catalyst in Dornagal which will give you an extra fractured spark for free, so when you've collected your first fractured spark, make sure you complete this quest as well. If you're worried about missing a week and losing out on half of a spark, you needn't worry. The system has a catch-up option baked into it right from the get-go, so if you miss half of a spark because you didn't complete a weekly quest one week, you should be able to loot that missing half spark from completing endgame content like dungeons, raids, delves, the new world boss, PvP, and maybe even the outdoor world events. As long as you're doing some endgame content, you should be able to catch back up in no time. The same goes for your ults. If you level an ult a few weeks down the line, obviously you'll be quite a few sparks behind, but completing endgame content should give you a chance to loot your missing fractured sparks so you can gather them all up and catch up to everyone else. The fractured sparks are only going to drop from this extra content if you are behind the current pace of spark acquisition, so if you keep up with the weekly quests, you won't ever see the extra sparks, and as soon as you are caught up to everyone else, you're back to the 1 fractured spark per week cadence and limit. So we have our Spark of Omens. How do we turn this into a piece of powerful crafted gear? This will depend on whether you have the crafting professions yourself or not. If you have the profession you need to make the item you want, it's super easy. Just find the recipe, gather all of the materials, and slot in your spark. Remember that using higher tier of materials in your craft will increase the rank of the result, and you can use concentration to force the recipe 1 rank up as well. So it's actually easier now to craft your own stuff at rank 5 than it was in Dragonflight. If you don't have your own crafting profession set up, you're going to have to make a crafting order. You can find the crafting order clerks in Dornagal right about here, so pop on over, talk to the clerk, and find the item that you want to get crafted. You'll be able to see all of the materials required to get this item crafted, so gather those up either from the auction house or from your other professions. When you have everything collected, you can send the order out. I will say you will usually want to have at the bare minimum rank 2 materials for everything you need. You may need rank 3 to get a rank 5 craft, but it's going to depend on the crafter who makes your gear. If you send this out as a public order, you're not going to have any control over the resulting quality, so keep that in mind. If you want to guarantee a rank 5 result, you will need to either send a guild order if you have crafters in your guild, or a personal order. For a personal order, you're going to need to find a crafter in trade chat. This is much easier than it sounds. Trade chat is full of folks looking for work, so find someone with the profession you need and the recipe you want, and then just send the craft to them. They should specify what rank of materials you need to send, so it's probably a better idea to find a crafter first and then collect the materials afterwards. You can always just send these as public orders if you don't want to deal with the extra hassle, but you aren't guaranteed to get the highest item levels. I really want to emphasize that setting up your own professions really isn't that bad in the War Within. If you want to craft your own gear, pick up the profession that crafts your armor type, so tailoring for mages, for example. If you want to craft weapons, that's going to either be blacksmithing or inscription, depending on the weapon you want to make. It's also worth noting that you can use your alts for professions as well, and they don't even have to be level 80. I have my paladin set up to do all of my weaponsmithing, and I'll be setting up jewel crafting and inscription on alts later as well. To be able to craft your own gear, you just need to get to about skill level 50 in your profession. You can do that very easily with just trainer learned recipes. Then go into your specializations. Find the one that has all of the various nodes for pieces of gear, unlock that specialization, and you can start putting your points in. If you want to be able to craft as many things as possible, you're going to want to max out these general nodes. This one increases your skill while crafting everything in this tree, giving you some great general progression points. These next nodes will give you skill points while crafting the pieces of gear attached to them, but most importantly, they also unlock those extra nodes. Unlocking these nodes is how you learn the epic crafting recipes, so if you want all of the recipes, unlock as many of the nodes as you want. But crucially, these general nodes are enough to get you to about rank 4 of the crafting recipe. If I go through my tailoring recipes here, you can see I can craft them all at rank 4, and you don't need that many knowledge points to be able to do this. You may need to use some higher tiers of materials to get to rank 4, but you can get there. Then you can use your concentration to force the recipe up to rank 5. One reason why crafting gear can be so expensive this expansion is this concentration mechanic. It takes a while to regenerate. You get 10 concentration per hour, so it takes 100 hours to get back your full 1000. So crafters are charging you for that time. If you do your own crafting, you can use your own concentration to get rank 5 crafts easier, faster and cheaper. Because we only get one spark every 2 weeks, you have 2 weeks to recharge your concentration or unlock more profession points for your next craft. If you want to craft something at rank 5 without concentration, you will want to max out that piece of gear's node. So you can see here I have cloaks maxed out on my tailor, so I can craft rank 5 cloaks super easily. The next one I'll be working on is boots. I'm about halfway there when recording this, but after I do this week's round of knowledge farming, I'll have boots fully unlocked too. Getting to this point doesn't take a lot of work either. You can get about 90 profession knowledge points very easily with a couple of hours work. Then you can get about 10 per week without too much effort. I'll link a video in the comments that goes over how profession knowledge works and how you can gather it up quickly. But perhaps the single most important factor here is you only have to set this up once. If you set up your crafting professions, you will be good for the rest of the expansion. When season 2 or 3 comes along with a new spark, you will already have the recipes, the knowledge points, the know-how to craft your own gear at rank 5 right away. So setting up your own professions is definitely worth it if you want to take advantage of these sparks and the high item level crafted gear for the rest of the expansion. So no matter who you are or how you play, Sparks of Omens give you access to item level 606 gear very easily without really having to do anything besides getting that weekly quest done to collect your fractured sparks every week. If you do that, you can craft a new piece of 606 gear every 2 weeks. Eventually you'll be able to craft a full set of gear with these sparks without touching any kind of group content, and the various veteran rewards from the other open world content and delves being able to drop up to item level 610 gear will help you gear up even faster. But where this gear really shines is with the upgrade crests. You can craft an enchanted runed Harbinger crest to increase the item level up to 619, or an enchanted gilded Harbinger crest to increase the item level up to 636. To craft these enchanted crests, you'll need to trade in runed or gilded crests for nascent crests at an enchanting supplies vendor, so we're going to need runed and gilded crests. Usually these will be limited to the folks who do high-end group content, but that's not the case anymore. Rune crests come from Mythic Plus 4 to 8 dungeons and heroic raid bosses, but you can also get them from completing Tier 8 bountiful delves, so you can slowly accrue them through the delve system, which is entirely soloable. You can also get ruined crests from the weekly vault vendor, so if you do some world content or delves and fill up that row, you can either get a piece of gear, or if nothing is a good upgrade, you can take the tokens of merit and trade them in for ruined crests. So there are a few ways to get your hands on those without jumping into group content. And then the gilded crests are going to come from Mythic plus 9 keys or above, as well as the raid on Mythic difficulty, but there is one way you can get gilded crests as a solo content player. When you use a delve map in a tier 8 bountiful delve, you'll get an extra treasure chest at the end that contains some 610 item level gear and some gilded crests. So everyone can get their hands on gilded crests this time around. The maps are just randomly found in the other chests at the end of bountiful delves, so delves offer you some great gearing options but can also help you upgrade your crafted gear as well. So getting rune crests and gilded crests will be a bit slower, but it is possible, and you can slowly work on those 619 or 636 upgrades. Using an enchanted crest is super easy. You either slot it into the optional crafting reagents box when you go to craft your gear, or you can use the recraft option and plug in your existing piece of Spark crafted gear and then just add the enchanted crest in that way. So that's everything you need to know about sparks, how they work, how to get them, how to create crafting orders to turn them into gear, and how to upgrade your crafted gear even further. But one question may remain: what gear should you get crafted? This is going to heavily depend on your class and spec, so I would recommend checking out your Wowhead class guide for more specific information, but there are some general patterns for creating and upgrading your crafted gear. Weapons are very popular for two reasons. First, they are very impactful for almost every class and spec, and being able to get a higher item level weapon very early on can give your character a huge boost. We also have some unique embellishments this time in the Dark Moon sigils, which can only be put on weapons and offhands. They are currently quite powerful, so crafting a weapon allows you to use these embellishments as well. After that, crafting items to replace your lowest item level pieces is a good next step. Keep in mind that you will probably want to avoid head, shoulder, chest, hands and leg slots. These are your tier set slots, so you want to equip your tier set gear there, not crafted gear. So the other slots like cloak, braces, belts and boots are great options. But that's everything you should need to fully understand Sparks of Omens and why they are so valuable. What items are you going to craft first, and how do you feel about crests being even more accessible in the War Within? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to all of our members here on YouTube. You can see the names floating by on screen. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can find links in the description or click the join button just below the video. If you enjoyed the video or found it useful in any way, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you're always kept up to date. Thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.